making history. Absolutely phenomenal.
And Ace is the champion of the Intel Extreme Masters World Finals.
Storm's still not quite done. MC is going to take this fight, though. 3 seconds left.
Last 2 rounds of matches got to start it well for ESC.
And this is a massive move for Zez, but he's not content with just a Nexus kill. He wants to win.
And it's all done. And Scarlett's winning.
Unbelievable Rogue with a 4-0 victory over Classic.
And they did it again in the grand finals. It's ZvZ!
Give it up for your Intel Extreme Masters World Champion!
And welcome back to the final qualifier, to the finale here of the IEM Katowice 2024 qualifiers in general. Welcome to the closed qualifier for the Americas server. I'm of course VIP, and with me I'm joined by the lovely people in the chat, by the players as well, and by my plushies. And oh my god, it has been an intense week of StarCraft. We started off with the Asia qualifiers, followed by the European qualifiers, and then we ended all here in the land of the Americas. We have 8 players left and only 4 tickets to IEM. Let's go. Let us go. As we do switch our scenes over here, !B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourselves, because it is going to be an intense day of StarCraft here. Oh boy, not many matches remaining. As you can see before you, we have 8 players. We have Scarlett and Dongregu. We have Gumiho and Sham, Special and Bunny, Creator and Trigger. 8 players remaining here. That's all we got left. There were a lot of upsets. A lot of players did not make it this far. A lot of players were eliminated. A lot of players will not be a part of IEM Katowice. And we still have to say goodbye to a couple more. 4 qualifying spots remaining. Now this is going to be double elimination before us, so our players will have a bit of an extra chance here. They'll have a little bit of a buffer zone available to them, but outside of that, it's going to be brutal. It's going to be a brutal day of StarCraft here, and it could really go either way. As you can see here, as you saw previously in the previous scene, our first matchup, I believe, is going to be Scarlett versus DRG. I'm kind of deliberating. My eyes are on the upper half of the bracket, either Scarlett DRG or Gumiho Chim. Both would be amazing series, and I think I'm going to be sticking with the ZvZ for the time being. Look, over the weekend we casted so many PvPs. we casted so much PvP over the so I need to cleanse my palate a little bit. Cleanse my palate just for a moment with like our first ZvZ in like 3 days, which doesn't sound like a long time, but we've been casting a lot of StarCraft in those 3 days, as we always do. So yeah, we are just going to be getting ready here for our players to conduct their vetoes here. For those that are curious, of course, these are server-based qualifiers, open to all regions. That's why we have players from Korea and from the Americas as well. We did have a lot of Europeans attempt to make it through these qualifiers, but they were for the most part shut down. Players like Lambo, Laser, and many others at the time as well, they weren't quite able to go as for a deeper run, just because, again, a lot of these Koreans were they've been through the ringer here. Like Gumiho, Creator, DRG, Bunny, they've been here for every single qualifier, every single one, playing through Asia, through Europe, and through the Americas, and all of them getting so close in their own way, so close yet so far still haven't made it here. So yeah, I'm curious. Personally, I hope at least some of the Americas players make it through. Like, it would be it would be a shame if they didn't. Estrella, of course, he already has an invite because he was the NA champion of the most recent season of DreamHack, so he's already in. It's really on everyone else to step it up as well. So we'll see here. Again, my heart goes out to like Scarlett, Cham, Special, and Trigger. We'll see if they can do it. We'll see if they can pull it off. For now, vetoes are underway, and we will soon be diving into our first matchup here. All the players still just getting things ready. I wasn't too sure if I had enough time to play the intro, which is why we went live a little bit earlier, but it's okay. Players just need a little bit more time to set things up before we do dive into this. Looks like, yeah, lobbies are being set up. Oh boy. And yeah, when it comes to predictions, do we start them off already? May as well. Yeah, you know what? We got some time. I'll set up predictions. Predictions will soon be set up here for our series as well. Again, it's going to be the ZvZ between Scarlett and DRG. That is going to be where we are headed first. And a ZvZ could really go either way. I know DRG has been really impressing me recently. We've seen him take down players like Dark. We've seen DRG really pop off in the Zerg versus Zerg matchup. Usually in a bit of a tricky way as well. And we can get into it once we delve into the series itself. But yeah, he has become a little more unpredictable when it comes to that ZvZ matchup. So I don't envy any Zerg player going up against him. And yeah, we'll wish the best. Quarterfinals match. Best of 3. DRG versus Scarlett. Beautiful. Okay. We'll get those predictions going once we have our players, once we have them ready. Also, welcome everyone to chat. Welcome. Bienvenidos. Randolph, bienvenidos. Warehog, Jeff Bezos, Orsis, Kalasi, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Slowbro, Neogis, welcome. This lovely Monday morning, where we made it through the weekend. We had a really intense weekend of StarCraft as well. We were covering WTL, of course, in all the days. The SC2 online open community open, which was a lot of fun last night. I highly recommend checking out the VODs. We had an intense series between Honmono and Cristiano, and even Honmono and Geralt as well. Not quite Geralt. Art. That's it, an art. And it was beautiful. It was amazing. It was everything you would ever want in a TVP. So it's a lot to live up to. But I'm ready for it because the lobbies are ready. And if you're in the chat, predictions are open. Best of luck. Best of luck in the chat. Place your bets on who you think is going to advance into a qualifying match. This is the best of 3. Best of 3 up next. That's the best of 5. Best of 5s are in the next round. That is where the qualifying matches are going to be held. Here we go. But now the game 1 is going to be on site Delta. Beautiful. Predictions open. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of site Delta, we have our South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing himself. He is still teamless, by the way, hoping to be noticed by a team. It is DRG. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Canadian Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Shopify Rebellion. It is Scarlett. There we go. First match is here. It is upon us again. This is it. This is the final chance here to qualify for IEM Katowice for that massive premier event in the coming year in 2024. Of course, DreamHack Atlanta is still on the horizon. It's still this weekend, but after that, it's all about IEM. It's all about that global finals there, bringing together players from all over the world. And yeah, I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy how it all comes down to this. I mean, in an ideal world, we have enough subs for everyone. In an ideal world, we can bring everyone to IEM, but alas, only enough room for 4 more players. And I'm here for it. So far, hatch first. Okay, we got a hatch gas pool opener here from Scarlett. Likewise, we have a hatch gas pool from DRG as well. Everything's looking normal. Everything's looking as it should, and that's pretty standard here on site Delta. Again, rush distance by ground is quite long. Going for an early gas or an early pool isn't quite advisable here on a map like site Delta. I'm sure we'll be getting into that later on, whether it's on hard lead or golden ore or even oceanborn. That's where we can be a little bit more spicy and a little bit more aggressive in the early game. For now though, everything is looking as it should. We've spoken about this before, but site Delta, not the worst map to go to for 2-base play, so that is not unheard of. It's something to bear in mind if our players do decide to wall off here and decide to skip their third. here we go. For now, just going to be droning, saturating our bases. Soon to be taking our thirds as well. We are not going to be skipping link speed or anything crazy like that. Link speed is on the way. And we're just settling into this ZvZ. Again, both players have had their like big moments in the sun with ZvZ. I feel like a historic moment for Scarlett, for example, was Scarlett causing upset against Rogue a couple of years ago in GSL. She can be a very creative, very exploratory player out there as well. I mean, I say that part of that was maybe also like Jake, coaching and adding his own flair as well to kind of Scarlett's builds. But for the most part, things are going to be settling down. We're going to be getting our third bases. We have a third hatchery on the way for both players, both DRG and Scarlett. Bailey should soon be on the way from both players as well. And we shouldn't be cutting corners, not this early on. Oh. Ooh, nice control so far. Scarlett getting one extra link kill. Not the biggest of deals, but a small win there from Scarlett. Meanwhile, interesting choices here. Both players are going to be flooding links, and both players are... There we go. I was like delaying their Bailey Nest. Bailey Nest is on the way for Scarlett. DRG and skipping his entirely. There we go. Is skipping the Bailey Nest, going straight for the roaches. Really risky move here from DRG. We'll see if we can get away with it. Again, he's going to have to rely on just purely links to defend and to attack. Scarlett, though, going across the map, looking to try and punish this. Still is unaware that the Bailey Nest is missing, but again, she's going for her own aggression. Links are moving out. So far, doesn't find a way in. Scarlett is droning behind this, by the way. Bailey Nest still a couple of seconds away, and DRG, he is still flooding links. He's still got 16 more links on the way. Jesus. The worker disparity is becoming quite large here, and it looks like DRG may just commit to an all-in at this point. Yeah, Roach Warren is done. Roaches are now on the way. DRG, he's just sending it. Scarlett back at home. We do have a couple of Banelings in production. The Roach Warren still has yet to be scattered by Scarlett. Still doesn't know what's going on. Lings, they have arrived. We have two Banelings to defend. Up! Oh my god. There's two Banelings going to be enough. For now, going to be rotating between the bases. Again, we have 7 Roaches on the way. And we can't lose these Banelings. Not prematurely. One Baneling is denied. A good start for DRG. Again, he's keeping Scarlett pinned back at home. Roach Warren is on the way. Just now finishing. And here come those Roaches. DRG just now droning, but he's down 10 workers. He is very committed with this. The Roaches are amassing. They are spotted by Scarlett. She sees. She's aware. And DRG's droning. Okay, he's trying to force an overreaction. To be fair, Scarlett hasn't droned in quite some time. She's still amassing pure Ling Bane. I'm sure expecting an attack, but DRG is not giving it to her. He's just droning happily back at home, catching back up economically. The question becomes, is Scarlett going to start droning as well to get into Roach production, or do we commit? We're committing. We are committing. That's Roaches on the way for Scarlett as well. We're going to be rallying across the map. This is going to be a really risky defense, or this is going to be just a really tense moment in general, because DRG is making a Bailey Nest. It's late, but it's on the way, and that will help here against Scarlett. Here's Scarlett looking for an engage, ideally hoping to try to surround these Roaches. And she does get the surround. Bailings are waddling on forward as well, trying to find those connections, and up they will. Good Bailey connection there, and it looks like the Roaches, they get swallowed up, and this is just too much. The trades are too good, and now we can head towards the third base. We can bring it down. No, we go straight for the natural. The Queens, the Roaches, they get called out. GG gets called, and Scarlett will take game number 1. Whew. GG. That was an interesting build choice from DRG. From the onset, I was all for it, right? You know, skipping the Bailey Nest, going to a Roach Rush, but for DRG to then pivot away and start droning, I can understand the logic there behind maybe hoping to force an overreaction. I do think that if DRG wanted to try to pull this off, we did need a faster Bailey Nest. 100%. Like if we're deciding to go into Ling Roach and then force an overreaction and then try to drone heavily from there, we needed a faster Bailey Nest. We needed clearly those Bailings to defend. If DRG even had 2 Bailings to help support his Roaches, then 100% he would have not necessarily won that fight, but forced Scarlett to back off, and then we would have seen a very different dynamic there between the players. Alas, Scarlett did strike just before the Bailey Nest finished, and she was able to get the surround, able to clean up the army, end the game before that could really impact before that could really impact the defense of DRG. And that is game 1 in the books. And what is brutal here? It's a best of 3. It is a best of 3 between these two players. It could all end here. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Canadian Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Shopify Rebellion, up 1-0 in this best of 3 series. It is Scarlett. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have her opponents. We have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg. It is DRG. See in the chat, did Bunny and Creator 1? Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourselves, the Wikipedia page and the ESL bracket. No series has concluded yet. All the matches just started, so still no one has won, no one has lost. So Bunny's still in it, Creator's still in it, Yumiho's still in it, DRG, Special, Trigger, Cham, Scarlett, everyone. Everyone involved. From here, we are once again going hatch first. We're going to be loading into Oceanborn. It is a much shorter rush distance map in the map pool. This can lead to more aggression, and you will have a little bit less time to react as well. So we'll see how this does unfold. Again, when it comes to that last game, it's kind of the you reap what you sow sort of kind of scenario where DRG kind of forced an all-in out of Scarlett, and then she's like, okay. Again, DRG was just caught a bit off guard, or not quite prepared for that counterattack. Was shut down. Now we are going to be again getting into game number 2. But now hatcheries are on the way. From here, we're just going to be droning. Especially on a map like Oceanborn, I can't imagine either player is going to be skipping banelings. Imagine DRG as well is going to be committing and investing in that. And yeah, it's just great to see these two players facing off once again. There's quite an amount of history here. If I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, but when Scarlett back in MLG, back many years ago in Heart of the Swarm, when she off-raced for the first time in competitive play, when she played Protoss, she beat DRG, right? DRG was her opponent. Am I crazy? Scarlett, Queen of Side Blades. I want to say it was DRG. I could be mistaking. It could be mistaking her opponent. Oh my god, there's articles about this. Yep, it was DRG. Yeah. Sorry, I really had to check because I needed to make sure that my memory wasn't failing me. I was like, I'm pretty sure it was DRG. Yeah, it was. That's crazy. These two players, they faced off, what was that? 2014. Oh my god, almost 10 years ago. It's been almost 10 years. That's crazy now that I think about that. We're so old. We are so old, Papi. Aye. But here we go. For now, we're just going to be droning up our bases. This time we have our Bailey Nest on the way for Scarlett. Likewise, Bailey Nest from DRG. As I mentioned before, because the rush distance by ground is a lot shorter, makes sense for this time DRG not to try to skip his Bailey Nest. That would be crazy. That would be wild. And we are getting into our standard openers. Third bases are on the way from both players. Everything is on time as it should be. As DRG now moves out, we do have a Roach Warren already on the way for both players as well, working towards those roaches. Lings are soon to arrive. Scarlett in position has her queen. Bailings are waddling on in, and DRG should be backing up. Just trying to trade as best he can before retreating. They do dip into the main base, just getting an eye on any, oh my god, on any weird tech. And I was about to say the lair, but no, we canceled the lair instead. That's a little bit scary. Lair is canceled, roaches are on the way, Scarlett being lured into teching. Upon seeing the lair, Scarlett, she started her own. We're investing resources in things that are not roaches, and she's droning. Oh my god, the mind games. The mind games are coming into play. Lings, they go straight for the mineral line. Bailings, they do not connect. Oh my god, the move command. But again, DRG's all in. DRG's cutting workers. He's making roaches. We are sending everything across the map. Scarlett, now aware of what's happening. We have spine crawlers on the way. She was duped into droning. Oh my god, so greedy, droning up to 57. And this could just kill Scarlett. Again, the fake lair. Throwing her up. We have roaches on the way. The queens, they are amassing. We have another spine crawler here at the natural. And DRG, he's here. And he's going to double the roach count. Lings, they're flooding across the map as well. And it may just end all here and now. The spine crawlers are finishing. The boys, they have to be pulled. We're going to be, we have to pull the drones. Lings are going down, but there are just so many roaches here. Do other reinforcements it up though? Scarlett. The spine crawlers, they bought enough time. The boys, the drones, they bought enough time as well. And Scarlett does hold. Whew. And suddenly, Scarlett is in a better position. She's still up in workers. She's going to be up in tech because of the lair. +1 range is on the way. DRG going to be pushing out. But I believe he's posturing. We are droning behind this. I don't think DRG wants to commit. Then counterattack though. Up! Oh, almost gets in. But yeah, again, DRG is just posturing. He's just basically trying to force Scarlett to make units. Trying to force Scarlett to make roaches instead of droning because DRG has catching up to do. He is droning heavily behind this. And so far, it worked. He did force Scarlett to overmake units. She does have a pretty hefty army, but... oh, she actually cancelled the lair. I thought we let it finish, but because we canceled the lair in the end, it means Scarlett, it doesn't have as much of an advantage as I thought she did. Good worker count, yes. But now if they get back into this, they get into roach speed. Ling comes in, gets eyes on the lair that's already done. Roach speed is on the way. We go for the Spire at the natural. Spire is on the way. So far, unscattered. DRG still on a very high tempo pace here. Getting fully saturated on 3 bases. Working towards his upgrades, banking up some minerals here, some gas resources for those meters. Scarlett's still in the dark. We're actually going straight for infestation, but this is interesting. Okay. Scarlett going to the pit. With this, we will gain access to infestors as well. So what's interesting is that Scarlett did see the lair earlier in the gases. Obviously, a Spire is a big possibility, and I feel like this infestation may just be for safety, just to try to keep up with mutas if they do pop out. Now, Overseers are moving out. The game is going to be settling for a moment. Both players getting their 4th bases. We do have the changeling slipping in. Ooh, and DRG doesn't notice. Big scouts. And yeah, we had a changeling here in the natural base as well. We see everything. Scarlett, she is aware of the Spire. At the same time, a big Link counterattack gets into the mineral line. Oh, drones are falling. Big pickoffs here. Hydrogen is on the way. The Lings get cleaned up, but not before killing 4 workers. Not insignificant. In the mirror matchup, every worker counts. And the mutas, they have arrived. Mutas are going to be moving out. Oh, they do catch some of these roaches. Scarlett going to be committing here. Looking at the units tab, Scarlett is slightly ahead in roaches, but not by much. Here we go. She's going to try to force her way through. Hydras in production behind this. The DRG was making roaches, didn't overcommit to mutas. Oh, and with these mutas coming back home to reinforce, we should be able to clean this up. And this was a big investment from Scarlett, losing so many roaches. Yeah, the roaches, they all go down. They don't find any economic damage. Scarlett now in some trouble. Does have some Hydras for anti-air, but now it's about the Roach Ravager. That's the problem. Again, DRG with a massive Roach lead now. Even if all these mutas died at this point, it's already worth it for DRG. He forced the overreaction, the overcommitment. And now we're going to be pushing in. DRG maxed out. He's up 50 supply. Even more than that. Mutas, they come in from behind. DRG being very tentative with his movements. sure he's aware that he is or has a lead after cleaning up that army, but doesn't want to throw anything away. Red Trav going to be pushing on forward. The longer this goes on, the better it is for Scarlett. She's amassing and rebuilding her army. At one point, not too long ago, she was down 50 supply, and now she's closing that gap. DRG just taking a little bit too long here. Here we go. We are committing. And he still has that lead. Files forcing back the Roaches. Hydra's going to try to come on forward. The Files, they connect. Oh, they do connect with the army. The Queens are coming forward as well. And is it going to be enough? Looks like DRG is being forced back. But he's just remaxing on more Roaches. Mutas, they get across. Oh, the Infestor! The Infestor! No! The Fungal! Not quite there. Spine Crawlers are coming on forward. DRG looking to break through. The Biles! Once again, they do graze the army. At the same time, the Mutas still wreaking havoc. They get a kill the Hydra Den. Oh my god. A very big pickoff, actually. I know that right now it is about Roach Ravager versus like Roach Hydra, and Roaches are more important at the moment, kind of. But this tells me that there's no Lurker Den. No Lurker Den means that Scarlett doesn't have as much of an advantage. We do have a big Roach counterattack though, getting to the main. At the same time, DRG pushing forward towards the 4th base, splitting up the Roaches, killing drones. Yeah, workers are going down. Looks like Scarlett's going to be able to hold on the front lines, but oh god, that's 14, 15 dead workers. That's a mineral line. Mineral line is going down. Tunneling claws coming in. DRG being as annoying as possible here, staying hidden. He is going to be cleaned up. But behind this, DRG's got the better economy. You have a 4th, now a 5th base on the way. Scarlett did remake her Hydra Den, if I'm not mistaken. There we go. Hydra Den is done. We could try to get into Lurkers. But no, for now, Scarlett investing into more Infestors. Infestors, they can help lock down the army. Scarlett has tied up the supplies. But upgrades-wise, DRG is getting further ahead. We have the Hive in production. +2, +1 carapace on the way. Scarlett just now starting her own +2 range. There's that Hydra Den from DRG. And this, again, should be for Lurker play. Lurker, something that we could have already had here for Scarlett if she had kept that Hydra Den alive earlier. That said, both players are maxing out. Scarlett getting ready for potentially a counter check or even a surround setup. Has to be careful not to be caught out. Airlord goes down. Scarlett has to back off. We do have a couple of Roaches trying to trickle in. Now unable to. There it is. Lunker Dens. They're on the way. Hives as well. Now I wanna believe that Scarlett can actually get into Lurkers first. Despite the Lurker Dens being pretty comparable to each other, because these Infestors, they do kind of give Scarlett a lot of breathing room when it comes to holding off an attack, staving off an attack even. There is a lot of potential there. So we go. Scarlett does push on forward, clearing up some of that creep. We're looking for a fungal. We will find one. The Biles. Oh, they will connect. That did cost us 2 Infestors. But as we clear up supply, Lurker Den is done. Waiting to get into those upgrades at the same time, going for a bit of a counterattack on the right-hand side. But DRG is in position. We do catch some Hydras. Big pickoffs. Hydras are going down. We go straight for the base as well. The 5th base is going to fall. Not the biggest loss for DRG. Scarlett's just now getting her own 5th. Taking a lot of damage. Scarlett rotating around in between the bases. Lunkers are already on the way for DRG. Scarlett still not investing in them. To be fair, it's only 3 Lurkers. Can deal with it. And not bad. The Fungals once again. The Fungal Bile combo. Lunkers, they have arrived. The goal here for DRG to turtle up. to turtle up behind this. Scarlett could be retreating, getting to her own lurkers. +3 range is on the way. Lurker range. And we are getting to almost the late game. I say almost, we haven't gotten into Vipers yet. Vipers are still not coming into play. We have a Nidus on the way for DRG. Oh my. Deny another 5th. Scarlett getting slightly ahead in the economy. Does catch a lurker. Nice pickup. At the same time, a Roach Hydra counterattack here with detection. We can go for another lurker. We get the pickup. We get one. We do get one. Looking at the unit type here, DRG down to 3 lurkers, making another 4, getting up to 7. This Roach counterattack though, buying a little time, forcing Scarlett to respect this and turn back around. So we even head towards some of these fringe bases, picking up some of the stack defense. Meanwhile, the lurker counts for both players are getting higher and higher. Something that DRG is neglecting is +3 range. There is no +3 from DRG. Nidus into the main base, though. Scarlett out of position. Uh-oh. She's racing back home. But it's going to be too late. The Nidus can finish, and we can go straight for the lurker den. We can go for the tech. You go for the economy. Scarlett racing back home. But again, pushing up a ramp into these lurkers. It's going to be brutal. Good piles. Lurkers not quite in position. The fungals as well. They reveal the lurkers, and DRG going to be losing everything here. Oh my god. Get out of it. No. A bit of miscontrol. DRG, I think he was meant to rally them into the Nidus, and alas, every lurker goes down. DRG down to 1. 1 lurker remaining. There was so much potential in this, but again, going for the ramp was a little bit greedy. Didn't get any damage in the main base whatsoever. And now Scarlett has a massive advantage. The lurkers are slowly going to push on forward. Again, we have 6 lurkers. I say that. Scarlett only has 6 lurkers. Not the biggest lead. A lead. Not the biggest. I like that Scarlett actually remade the lurker den, assuming that it would die in the main. I mean, an apt assumption. I thought that would happen as well. We have that backup lurker den. Oh, the piles, though. Do connect. Scarlett having a hard time pushing up the ramp. The lurker count has once again evened up. Slightly ahead in favor of DRG. We do have 1 lurker harassing that 4th base. Getting a couple lurker kills, denying so much mining. Oof. DRG taking a couple of pulse shots here. Does have to be careful. Here we go, the Vipers, they have arrived. We've gone up to 6 Vipers at this point. Show us the yoinks! Up! And there they are. Yoinking as many as we can, and it's just too much. GG gets called as DRG has no counter Vipers of his own. And Scarlett will take this series 2-0, advancing on to a qualifying match. GG. GG, well played. That was a roller coaster ride of emotions. That was actually quite back and forth. There was a big moment, if you remember. There was a big moment when Scarlett threw away her roaches when the mutas revealed themselves, where Scarlett just plummeted in supply. I'm actually looking at the graph here as well. That was the moment. But if you remember, DRG, he maxed out and he was spending time knocking down rocks, clearing up some, or just like waiting for reinforcements, consolidating his army. DRG took his time, and that was his window. That was his window to strike. He missed the window, allowed Scarlett to recover, to recuperate, and then from there, of course, we ended up eventually into the lurker v lurker. I was a little bit shocked to see that DRG, despite working towards a slightly faster hive, and despite having the better economy, never went into Vipers. When it comes to late game ZvZ, it isn't just about Hydra Lurker, it's Hydra Lurker Viper. The Viper adds so much value, as we saw towards the end there. They add so much value when it comes to abducting or even going for blinding clouds as well. It's a good way to counteract the lurkers of your opponent. And we have seen a lot of late game ZvZs between like Dark and the other Korean Zerg players like Solar and Shin. And the game even turns into just Viper versus Viper, where you've got like 12 plus Vipers versus 12 plus Vipers in 2 groups each, going for power bombs and abducting each other. That's kind of what it comes down to. But with that, GG, well played. And we have some updates already. I was not expecting some of these matches to be so fast. I say some of these matches, one of these matches. Exclamation mark B in the chat to have a look at the back of yourselves. Gumiho versus Cham already concluded. That was a fast best of 3. Very fast. Gumiho 2-0 Cham. My condolences to El Chamaco. My condolences. Big fan of Cham. Big fan. Does go down to Gumiho 2-0, which means up next we have Scarlett versus Gumiho in a best of 5 qualifying match.